So my fastest speed was on 5G, but my slowest speed was also on 5G. I'm ISkyler, let's get started. So, wanting to test 5G, I had hopped in the car with my iPhone 12 and drove in some direction to get to my nearest 5G city. Now, T-Mobile is my carrier. Technically Mint Mobile, but they use T-Mobile's network. So, T-Mobile is my network, and they have low-band 5G in most of the US. And I have it at my home, around my home, I use it. Low-band travels the farthest of any of the 5Gs, but carries the least amount of data. Mid-band travels kind of okay, and carries a kind of okay amount of data. And millimeter wave, high band, gets blocked by a tree or a wall, but has crazy speeds. T-Mobile does have mid-band in a couple hundred US cities, and so I picked one and drove to it. But they don't tell you where in the city they have it, like no information I got other than the city's name. So I just kind of had to drive around hoping I'd find it, and I was looking for a 5G plus icon, which I assume means mid-band, but I'm also not sure. And this is when things just kind of didn't work. I couldn't find any of the 5G plus. So it's possible that I found T-Mobile's mid-band and it just didn't show up as 5G plus, or I just didn't find T-Mobile's mid-band so it didn't show up. But I still went in this mid-band city. I did a bunch of tests on the 5G and the LTE. Now, these are just my experiences in the suburban Midwest, and your results may vary. In fact, they will probably vary. So, for a baseline number, I get around 100 megabit per second up and down on my Wi-Fi. That's about 13 megabytes per second, or about 16 seconds to download the YouTube app. On T-Mobile's supposed mid-band, my best speed I got was 56 megabit per second down and 66 megabit per second up, which is about 7 megabytes per second, or about 30 seconds to download YouTube, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. The LTE speeds I got in the same spot was 23 megabits per second up and 42 megabits per second down, which is okay, but kind of bad at the same time, really pretty bad. And both of those are just unimpressive numbers, the 5G one especially, because the mid-band 5G is supposed to get speeds of 300 megabit per second to a gigabit per second. I was getting nowhere near that. That's speeds of downloading YouTube in 2 to 6 seconds. That's really fast. I was really hoping to go there and find those speeds, but I could not find them anywhere. And so I wouldn't have even believed that this was 5G and not just LTE if it weren't for another test I did. I got in the car and I tested both 5G and LTE from inside the car. And lo and behold, the LTE was faster. Now that makes sense because 5G carries more data than LTE, and so it travels less distance, as well as penetrating objects less easily. So it couldn't penetrate the car's walls as easily, and so it got less data through, and the LTE was better. Now, I also tested the 5G around my house, where I just have the low band. And this 5G was always faster than LTE. The low band 5G was always, every time, faster than LTE. Sometimes by quite a bit. In one instance, the LTE was only 16 megabit per second. That's really pretty slow. And the 5G got a 41 megabit per second upload. Those are okay speeds. I mean, they're not great, but they're okay. Interestingly, even inside my house, the 5G was faster than the LTE. So it seems, for me, in one place, on one network, 5G isn't that large of an improvement. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good incremental upgrade. These are some good speeds that I love to use. They're awesome, but these aren't life-changing speeds or life-changing pings. They're just another small upgrade. We've heard so much from Apple and others about how incredible the 5G speeds are going to be, but they're not that great. I mean, for me, but this is just all for me. It could be different for other people, different for other networks. But yeah, that's 5G on the iPhone 12. I'm ISkyler. Thanks for watching. Bye.